On Wednesday, May 1st, one of Winnipeg's summer icons opened for business. For decades, St. Leon's Gardens, located at 419 St. Mary's Road, right at the corner of Carriere and St. Mary's, has been providing Winnipeggers with the best in fruits, veggies, plants, and locally sourced products. And now that the spring and summer are upon us, there is surely nothing better than stopping by St. Leon's, perhaps on your way home from work, and picking up something tasty for dinner. And joining me here in the Classic 107 studio to talk about what is happening at St. Leon's and talk about all things local, I am joined by Colin Rémillard, who is one of the second generation owners of St. Leon's Gardens. Hey Colin, great to see you again.
Hello, pleasure. The weather outside is unbelievable.
Yeah, unreal. Before we get to the opening and talking veggies, I want to talk about how it all began. I was on your website and I was reading the story about how the business got started. Were you around when your parents opened the business on the corner of Carriere and St. Mary's, or did your parents ever talk about how it started?
Yeah, no, I wasn't around. I'm the youngest of the family, so I was but an afterthought at that point. I'm a 95 kids, and a lot of this stuff happened before I was even born. They started a little farm garden in the town of Saint Leon, Manitoba in 79. The farm itself started off small. They kind of hired the town kids to help maintain it. The goal initially was my dad's passion project to teach these kids about entrepreneurship, honestly, and almost like he teach them responsibility and basic life skills. He always had like a penchant towards teaching the next generation how to deal with the real world. My mom then joined him after a while. Eventually they fall in love, they get married, and they keep going with the project. However, in 1989, this is when the whole cataclysmic event happened. The whole moment happened. There was a huge drought where they were irrigating from the lake. So there was a huge drought in St. Leon, and they no longer could grow vegetables on the property that they owned. The garden dream kind of fell in a pit of despair, unfortunately. Fell off, tombé à l'eau in French, you would say. So it flopped. They sold all their property, all their equipment. They kind of left St. Leon and they moved back into Winnipeg. I don't know, like I wasn't there, but from the sound of it, it sounded like it was almost like that was the end of that dream. That was basically, it was done, it failed, or like, it didn't fail, but that was the end of it, you know? But little by little, 89, 90, they kind of like started looking at the property we have now on St. Mary's, 419, right near Woodcock and like near Red Top, stuff like that. And over time, they kind of grow and grow and grow the store. It becomes a retail operation. And now, next thing you know, it's like this bustling market that we know today. At some point, my sister, my brother, and then myself are born. And then in 2016, we take over because we really like the family business. We're really all into it. We're all working together in it regardless. Our cousin's also been working in it for years and years. So 2016 happens. We buy it from the parents, all four, each of us part owners. And that's what happened until today. But yeah, essentially in 89, big drought happened. They had to like kind of reshift their direction, their strategy, move in town, get regular, I think, office jobs, literally. I think like they were working for maybe nonprofits or maybe just in an office somewhere, which was not their dream, was not their passion. They really like to be outside and dealing with the agricultural stuff. So when the property got available on St. Mary's, they slowly went back to agriculture, local food, but in a different setting, in retail more than production.
So here we are. It's another season, and St. Leon's is open, which is great. How was the opening? And we got rain at the beginning of the month. Did that affect how the opening went?
It's good, double-edged sword. Pros is that you get a slow ramp up to the busy season, so all your staff can get really cozy and trained in a controlled environment, if you will. But the downside is that it's been quiet. So people don't love shopping outside when it's raining and cold and a little windy as well. Now, for the past few days, it's been really glorious, so it's been a completely different story. But it is nice to start the season off a little slower, just to get all our bearings in a row, all our ducks in a row, and everything kind of comfortable, so that when the rush happens, when May long happens, when Mother's Day happens, we're ready for it.
Perfect. A lot of your produce is locally sourced. Can you talk about what is available now? And can you sort of talk us through the season? For example, I know you get super excited when the strawberries are ripe and available. Is there a typical cycle that you go through every season, or does it really depend on the weather from year to year?
Definitely depends on the weather, but there's definitely like a sort of pattern. The first thing to arrive is going to be after this weekend. local asparagus. It's one of the first plants, perennial plants that we grow in Manitoba that's going to pop out of the ground. For people who've grown asparagus before in their garden, it's a very, very fun plant to grow, to be honest. Very exhilarating. Suddenly, all of a sudden, the snow melts and you get a little head of asparagus that looks literally exactly like an asparagus that you see in the grocery store pop out of the ground, almost like if it was a joke, like almost like someone put an asparagus in the ground. So that's how asparagus grows. But that is in fact how asparagus grows. It comes out of the ground. You harvest it quite a bit, almost one sprig worth a day. And then eventually you kind of have to let it go. But that's going to happen in the next few days, hopefully any day now. Local asparagus will start popping out. So you'll start seeing it at grocery stores around the city or the province. Then the next thing is probably going to be some greens, maybe dill, maybe some lettuces, greens that are like started early. Someone gambled out there. They didn't get any frost and they harvested early, as well as radishes. Radishes is like one of the first root vegetables that grows very fast, and you harvest it very early. After that, it's a little bit of a mix because it really depends on who, what, when you planted it, how lucky you are, if you had any frost, if you gambled early, and stuff like that. Of course, the strawberry, I can't stop talking about them. They are the best product we sell, the best product I think that exists on planet Earth. My friends and I have a joke is like, if humanity could design a candy that tastes like a strawberry, the world would end, because the strawberry is such a pure, sweet, tasty product that we still can't, with the technology we have, with the candy technology we have today, we still can't recreate it, and that's something special.
Speaking of the weather, this winter we got off super easy. It was mild, but what went along with that is we can get a lot of snow. Is that affecting things at all?
It's a huge concern. And I'll talk about BC as well in a bit. But basically, BC basically had a huge frost, so BC fruit is going to be a tragedy this year. However, when it comes to Manitoba, lack of rain, lack of snow definitely affects perennial crops throughout the province. Snow acts as a kind of cozy blanket that covers up all your crops. It also acts as a way to hydrate the soil. So with not zero, I'm exaggerating, but very little snow this winter and a little bit of rain this spring, but mostly I think it's going to be a dry summer. A lot of farmers are concerned that their crops are just not going to have the gusto and the vim that they would on a very precipitous season. Some of the crops are going to have died. Some of the people, even people at home, some of the perennials that you've grown in your garden are going to have unfortunately perished after the winter time because there was no snow cover. You could have shoveled your lawn shoveled your driveway and put some snow on your beds. But at the end of the day, I only accumulated maybe a foot or two of snow on the side of my house's beds. So who knows? Everyone's yard is different and everyone's fields is different, and there's microclimates across, streets. Like everyone's yard is different and everyone's fields are different, but generally it might be a problem this year. We're not sure exactly how it's going to manifest or if it will manifest into huge issues, but it's definitely a concern farmers have, unfortunately.
I was driving by the other day, and believe me, I'll be stopping by this week to pick up some tasty things. You've got flowers outside that you're selling. It makes sense. Now's the time for people to start grooming their gardens or their yards. How do you get your hands on these flowers? How does it work?
Yeah, we have a bunch of local suppliers that produce plants for us. We used to grow a few plants here and there to sell at the store when our dad was doing it, but our dad has since passed away, unfortunately. So we've always outsourced growing plants. We just focus so much on the selling and the produce side of things that we don't have the capacity or the time to really do growing plants properly. And he needs a pro and an expert, someone who does that full time. With quality in mind. So we hire that out. We buy from suppliers. I would say literally almost every plant we sell is locally grown. We have to import some tropical plants that we can't source locally from other provinces. Right.
And Mother's Day is this weekend. Do you have flowers available for Mother's Day? And
totally.
Can people pick those up?
Yeah, and just to talk about flowers, I know it's early still. Our reality is very unique because we're an outdoor garden center, outdoor farm market. We have to keep an eye on the forecast every single day. When they're announcing anywhere close to 2 degrees, we're very paranoid. We sometimes bring everything inside the greenhouse, everything inside our warehouse, and we keep everything cozy. When it comes to perennials, we're a little bit more lenient. We leave a lot of the stuff kind of outside to harden. But like a basil plant, you got to be really careful. Anything under 12 degrees for a basil is going to really harm it. So basil, sweet potato vines, and a couple other select plants, you really want a baby for the next 2-3 weeks. Yes, some people you might see are planting stuff. They are either brave and gamblers at heart, or maybe they don't really know that there's probably going to be a frost coming. So for us in the market, we have a ton of flowers. If you want a gift for your mother, we've got hanging baskets, little flower arrangements. We also have food. We have an entire grocery store's worth of food. So if your mom's peckish or if she wants to eat while she's gardening, or whoever in your life you want to give a Mother's Day gift to, we've got what you need. But yeah, we can start buying flowers. Just be aware that if you're planting them outside, that you're gambling a little bit, depending on the plant you're buying.
One of the great things about St. Leon's is that you not only have the tasty organic fruits and veggies, but there's also jams, jellies, breads, and cheeses. There's the works. You sell the stuff and it's locally sourced. Can you briefly talk about where some of these products come from?
Yeah, from all over the province. It's going to be hard for me to start naming them all because we have hundreds and hundreds of them. Mm-hmm. We deal with over 200 local producers and suppliers. So the list is long. Some of them are producing vegetables that we sell at the market. Some of them are producing jams, jellies, delicious sauces, samosas, pies, whatever you want to name it. Meats, frozen pizzas, cheeses, all sorts of things. Our focus is on local. If there's something produce-wise, vegetable-wise available in the province, it's very, very likely we're going to have it in stock. If there's a specific local product that you're looking for, very likely we're going to have it in stock. Our focus is on local. We want to make sure that the local producers have a place to sell their goods, but we also want to make sure we only sell good products. So we kind of have to toe that line. But yeah, we have a full-fledged grocery store. Our main business is groceries. Yeah. And it's fully open right now. So if you're looking to shop for groceries in alternative stores, come check us out. We have a new program this year. We have our double Tractor Miles Tuesdays.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. We basically want to like almost shift some of the traffic away from weekends and maybe a little bit more towards the week. Tuesdays is technically our slowest day in theory. Every day is different. It's very much weather-based, but on average, it's technically like 2% lower than all the other weekdays. So we pick Tuesdays. Also, Tractor Miles Tuesdays, nice alliteration. I love that. People can collect, instead of 2% on their groceries back to the in-store credit, they can collect 4% on in-store credits every time they shop on Tuesdays. So you're basically getting 4% off everything you buy on Tuesdays. So I would highly recommend.
So the Tractor Miles get you 2% off.
Exactly.
Off
everything you buy. So on Tuesdays, 4%.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I had some just killer local honey last summer. It was super tasty and delicious. Compliments of one of my colleagues here at work. If you want to be a supplier for St. Leon, how do people do that?
Yeah, there is a lot of competition. Obviously, there's a lot of people who wanted to get on our shelf, so I recognize that. I realize that. We have a forum on our website because we're getting lots and lots of demands nowadays. And it seems to be a trend of people kind of starting side gigs, starting off small, local, little productions in their kitchens and in commercial kitchens and stuff like that. We are still a grocery store, so we are still, we still have to subscribe to the rules. So barcodes, ingredients, nutritional facts, your product has to be made in a commercial kitchen, an inspected kitchen. It can't just be coming from your kitchen, unfortunately. Yeah. But we have a form on our website where people can apply to be carried by us. But again, there's a lot of competition. We also have, for example, honey. We have a long-time honey supplier. So it would be difficult to replace that, for example, So we do have like long-term relationships with a lot of producers. So it's not everyone that's going to be able to be carried, but I recommend everyone who has got a little product that is made in an inspected commercial kitchen, that definitely try it out. Come and give us samples. We'll try it out. No promises, but it's possible.
Perfect. I got to say, I'm looking forward to making my way up to St. Leon's on my bike this summer and picking up some great food. Before I wrap things up, can you tell us the hours that you're open and where can people go to find out more details about St. Leon's?
Totally. We're very active online, stleongardens.com. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook. We keep our Instagram pretty fully stocked with pictures to show you what's in stock. The information is usually up to date. Our hours are open 7 days a week, which is incredible, even on Sundays. So 9 to 9 from Monday to Saturdays, literally 9 to 9 every single day. Sundays is the only time where we close a little bit earlier to give everyone a break, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sundays and holidays. But honestly, 9 to 9 Monday to Saturday, 9 to 6 on Sundays.
Fantastic. Colin, it's great to see you again. I hope everybody at the business has a great summer. All the best. And thanks for making the time to stop by and talk to me today.
Thank you very much. Awesome.